Changes to your weekend forecast and your Labor Day weekend forecast. Folks, that's words you never want to hear a meteorologist say, but unfortunately, a low pressure system is locked in on the southeast, and if the European is right, not only is it going to be wet, but it could be a washout. Let me know in the comment section where you're watching from right now. Let me know what you have planned for Labor Day weekend. Of course, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, as I will keep you posted around the clock for all things weather going on. So let's dive right in and look at what's going on. What's next in the world of weather? Well, as we look at the satellite, you see this front already draped in right here. That is the front that has brought refreshing air as far south as Central Florida. It has felt fantastic. Now, Florida's jumping up and down at 70s and lower humidity. Georgia's happy with the 60s. The Carolinas are happy with the 50s. And it's even been in the 30s. Mount Mitchell, North Carolina, already feeling like it should be wintertime outside. That's odd. No doubt, August is not supposed to be cold by any stretch of the imagination, but it has been a little bit on the crisp side. You already see coming in from the west some clouds. That is the next system that is trying to take shape, and if the European has it its way, it's going to be not only wet, but a washout for Labor Day weekend. You see here it spreads in a low pressure, 10-12 low right here over Mississippi into Alabama. And what it does is it sends a tremendous amount of rain into Georgia and the Carolinas to the tune of 2 to 3 inches of rain, mainly Saturday night. Not great timing if you're an LSU or Clemson fan going to the game at Death Valley in Clemson. My, oh my. Here we go. Saturday night, still raining. Sunday tapers off a little bit, then ramps back up at times. There would be waves of on and off rain, not a complete washout. But here's the deal, folks. The European, while it's big and bad, look at this swath. 2 to 4 inches of rain from Greenville to Atlanta. You got 6+ inches of rain and possible flooding back toward Alabama near Birmingham. But here's the deal. GFS model says, hold on a second. There's not going to be a low pressure system. Look at this. It's completely dry in the Western Carolinas. How about the trend here? Is it trending toward the European? No. GFS says this ain't happening. So let's zoom in a little bit closer and show you what's happening. So it does not develop a low pressure on that old frontal boundary. There's no upper level energy supporting it. But what do the high resolution models show? Let's look closer at that. And I've got a brand new one here to show you. And yep, it's almost done processing. It's got moisture, it's got a low pressure on the high-res NAM model, but it subdues it to the south. We're talking I-20 south, Atlanta, Savannah, Statesboro. It's got rain. It's got quite a bit of rain for your Labor Day, Friday into Saturday. Let's look closer at the extended. It's got really wet conditions across the panhandle. Not a washout, but certainly rain at times on Saturday. Not what you want to hear going into a Labor Day weekend forecast. Let's look closer at the why. Well, the European has this cutoff low, or this upper level low right here. You see that energy right there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this dip in the jet stream and this energy right here across the area just wrings out a tremendous amount of moisture. A very rare pattern for August, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a very fall-like setup. You got this northwest flow keeping temperatures cool. You've got some rain. We just don't want the European. I mean, maybe in a few weeks, right? But not for Labor Day weekend. We're trying to get one last weekend, right? One last weekend to ski in. Maybe you're going to the beach. Maybe you're going to the pool. Or maybe you're going to catch some football. Maybe you're just trying to grill out some hot dogs. I mean, come on. We don't want rain. But there's another consequence to this low on the European model. Again, reasons why we don't want the European to be true. You leave an old frontal boundary and some lower pressure hanging out enough, there could be some tropical trouble out of this down the road. You see lower pressure Sunday before Labor Day into Monday into Tuesday, there's a low pressure system hanging out off the southeast coast. Does that wrap up into something? Well, there's certainly a lot of blue on this map indicating the pressure is lower than normal right off the coast. Does that curl up into something? We'll have to wait and see. The pattern here is very interesting in the fact that there's a big trough that just continues to dig in across the eastern United States. In fact, that's leading to the Climate Prediction Center in NOAA issuing this. Below normal temperatures, not only through the 6th, but also the extended outlook now gets us almost to the middle of September with below normal temperatures favored. Folks, this is normally one of the hottest parts of September, and then the sun angle begins to change and we start to cool off rapidly. If we can get through the first 2 weeks of September, I'm not saying summer's over, but are 90s over for a lot of us? It's certainly very possible given this pattern and how much this jet stream wants to dip down. What about the tropics? Well, I'm just going to blaze through the European here. it's got this front, which is honestly going to be what we have to watch out for in the near term. A lot of moisture just kind of leaving hanging around here. Does that curl something up? Models are not very keen on developing something, but it is just a ripe area that we would need to watch. Also, Central America, we're watching this for you. We could have the Caribbean kind of be a hot spot for at least some flooding rains and tropical downpours. But here you are, Tuesday after Labor Day. There's something trying to curl up, but it's several hundred miles offshore of the Carolinas. Just looks to get eaten up by this wind shear, by this dip in the jet stream. So let's go out. Now let me draw your attention out here to the main development region. There's been a bunch of swings and misses with the waves coming off Africa, splashing down, not really having much to work off of. Dry air, wind shear, tear them up. But look what happens here. Look at this. Looks like a tropical storm over Africa. It's not. It's a low pressure. Look what happens. That first one splashes down at a very high latitude, so it doesn't do much. It's already north of the Cape Verde Islands. But look at that second one. That thing is a monster already, and it's not even over the warm waters of the Atlantic yet to feed it. That one is a little farther to the south, kind of hangs out right there, but look deeper in the forecast. That right there. Wednesday, September 10th, Thursday, September 11th. We would need to watch this wave right here. I bet that's going to be our next time frame of, hey, here's a hatched area, it's going this way. That's what we'll have to watch out for. In the meantime, we're going to be looking in closer to home for some home-brewed threats. That's going to be what we'll need to be dialed in on in the near term. Does it work its way back to the west? No. The models would actually take this away from the United States if something did form off the southeastern United States. And I think we're in still that bit of a lull here where I don't see a big threat to the United States for at least the next 7 days. So that gets us through Labor Day into that next week, and then we start to pay attention to what could be brewing off the coast of Africa. And of course, our models are always running 10 days in advance of that. So we'll have plenty of time to track this, like with Aaron. We knew Aaron was coming 10 days before Aaron became a thing, and then we had 10 days to track it from there. So it seemed like we were tracking Aaron for 20 plus days. Folks, you know that if there's anything to track, this is the place to do it. I sure appreciate you being here. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as I do keep you posted around the clock of any kind of severe weather. Try to give you that leg up, that hey, here's what's coming kind of thing, so that you can keep your family safe in severe weather, and so that you can kind of have a leg up on this wild weather we've been seeing here lately. Stay tuned for next video, and let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. I'll give some shout outs next video as we continue to fine tune this Labor Day weekend forecast.